Good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome back. Today has been interesting, to say the least. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now what? Got 7 minutes on the menu, and we've got an interesting Friday lined up because, again, another day that these days are just, they're not connected, right? No connection. So we've just sort of chalked everything up to short term volatility and we're just going trading past it. We bought a lot of things yesterday. We bought everything else today. There's not much else for us to do other than watch, react. We'll see what tomorrow does. Is tomorrow going to take profit on today? I mean, we we don't get to know. All we know is that we bought as much as we could. Not trying to perfectly time things, but we've been buying on a couple dips now. We bought on this dip, got stopped out, bought over here, got stopped out, bought over here. What is this going to turn into? Is this the ultimate pamp right here? Is this the pamp emotes time? We're gonna find out. Right. We don't get to know. We don't get to know if we got the low point or not. Thankfully, a lot of tickers were pulled into support. We didn't have to do. Brian posted the meme of he posted a haiku meme of moving his lines down and look, I bought on support. I bought at the bottom where you just keep moving your support down. Thankfully, a lot of our levels on charts, we'll look at it after the close, lined up very well for support buys. So again, we're on a support. I've said buy at the low end of the range plenty of times already over the last couple weeks. That's what we're trying to do. And then specifically on growth this week, coming into this week as well. Talked a lot about buying on the lower end of those range. Things like semiconductors. We bought Facebook last week, bought Apple at the low end this week. These kind of trades. And then again today, same thing stands, right? We're not going to be able to perfectly time things. It's short-term volatility. We're betting on an upside. We're betting on an upside move. And even if not that, then we're just betting on speed, some movement. Because things have tightened and we're preempting a lot of moves because this market is consolidating, but what a lot of the trading we're doing right now is betting that this is the tightest it's going to get and it's going to come out of here. It's either, again, we had like Tesla, for instance, broke down out of the tightening yesterday, right? That's a good example of, well, that didn't go the right way. It made a move and it didn't continue to tighten because it still had a ways to go to the apex. It made a move. So if you straddled that, for instance, some of those riskier ones, you're not going to be able to just directionally trade it. You're going to have to spread it. In almost all other circumstances, you don't. Again, this is where the whole thing is not if or should I buy, it's what should I buy. Or I mean, I just said should multiple times, but the question's not if, it's what, right? What should we buy? Because we're buyers. That's it, right? We'll see how it turns out tomorrow. We could easily get cucked again tomorrow, right? Again, the point of what this isn't an exercise, but the point of what we're doing is not to lose money. We're just trying to get in. Just trying to get in for the next move. We got in over here, right? Into this week and got paid. That was pretty nice. This move. Yeah, it didn't continue. Is this move going to continue? We don't get to know. Not yet, anyway. Signs are pointing to the upside, but even today had a lot of volatility, right? We'll look at tickers. There again. This is why I said just buy everything. You don't need to be perfect. Nothing needed to be perfect to make money. All you had to do was just do something again. I mean, I've said it the last couple days. So again, and that's where it comes down to the confidence thing. It's really easy to lose your confidence and not have the ability to make trades. Just about everything's up right now. A lot, right? A lot. And that's again why I made the comment of, risk. You have to pay the price, and a lot of time it's painful. It's going to be painful for some of you. The rest, some of us don't care. But yeah, it's going to be painful to pay the price. But look at the result, right? I would say that today, if you were buying from yesterday and today with the same sort of aggressiveness, then you should be up enough to cover anything that you get stopped out on the last 2 days easily, right? Easily. And so again, you're at least seeing that the upside is paying for that trouble in the preemptive risk, so it's still worth it. Because again, this is not where we're expecting price to be much further than this. So if already wherever you bought and whatever you bought, no matter if you didn't perfectly time it, if you didn't buy it until 2 o'clock, you should still be in a place that it's paying for that. And that's a good sign. And you can, again, you shouldn't be watching P&L, but if the P&L, as you glance by it, you see that it's paying okay, then okay, you're doing all right. You're doing okay. So again, this could be really interesting to go in tomorrow. And again, we don't know. You don't get to know. You don't get to take profit right here. Oh, it got rejected. SPY got rejected right here. We should take profit. No, you don't get to decide that. You don't get to decide the top. We're buying whenever we can, and we'll see if this is the low or not. We'll see. And Fridays it does set up what we understand to be a green Friday. So it's gonna be really, I think, a lot of fun, really interesting to push trades over the weekend. There's gonna be no sweaty palms, no hoping for a good Monday. Shouldn't be like that. Everyone should be able to have a good weekend, enjoy their weekend, whether the market's up or down, right? But it does look like one of those, oof, these are gonna feel good. Because if we're able to push these all tomorrow, then your job's done. Your job's done, which is a lot like this trade over here on the 5th. Taking anything near the low over here on the 5th, you didn't need to do jack shit come Monday or the next week. We're just trying to do the same thing. It's not always the same, but we're trying to emulate that because that's what gives us success. That low to high move in a short time frame where we bet on speed, not just the price, we bet on speed. And I don't mean like we're on speed while we're betting. Some of you, I mean just literally, I just mean like how fast the price moving. Not really much of a speed guy myself, you know. All right, there it is. What a day. That was a lot of fun. Okay, so what was the motto? Buy everything. Everyone did buy everything, that's for sure. We're going to go through the list really quick here. We definitely bought. And I don't mean just us. We bought, and then everyone else started buying too. And it's important, again, to see that confirmation in the way that unfolds. That's, again, some interesting trading. Oh, maybe I shouldn't put this on here. Again, that's the bad case scenario. Tech was, again, lost value on the day. It's important to still note that tech is down. Tech is down today. Growth had a tough time today. Again, whether this is the low or not, it doesn't really change anything. We understand it's in a consolidation. We're betting it's going to break out of the consolidation to the upside. We just keep trying to time the lows, understanding, Look at David thinks it's Friday today because the way I was talking. He says, gotta head out early. Have a good weekend. Yikes. Wait, is today actually Friday? No, it's Thursday. Okay. So anyway, we know that we have a consolidation. So tech obviously had a tough time still today. So even if we look at some mega caps, whether you were able to get this is not where the action was still, right? And so again, a lot of things still went through value. And as we look through tickets, you're going to see that, and when we go over here to the big boy Dow, the dirty Dow, you can obviously see it. This is an extremely bullish candle. The only difference is that the way the candle yesterday was bullish as well. And so the wick coming up through here, if that wick wasn't completely up there, then this candle would just mean all-time high, like easily, right? Instead, we have this sort of bullish candle yesterday. So what I would say are these are two bullish candles together. Obviously, we open lower. But we need to always take into context the movement of price. And so the bid that we had through the day, it's this movement from the low. This is almost 2% on the Dow. That's insane. That's insane to get a spread like that. And that was the only time we've ever got that, literally ever, was over here when we're getting that volatility. Right, that was it. Otherwise, you don't get much movement. You don't get much of a spread. And so this is a very big candle. That's where, again, this is 90% of my portfolio. This is what I'm trading, are things related to the value idea in big trades, not like just small caps. I'm going to show you small caps. Taking that small cap trade from the low, again, not specifically the average, definitely paid from that break. But again, this trade here, this in relation, if you go look at the Dow tickers, here's the Dow. The only thing that's not up is Nike on news. Salesforce, because it's dog shit. and then tech because it was a little slow, right? And the rest are again news and again tech. So this is the Dow. Look at BA. This trade over here, and I talked about aerospace and defense again today, how taking that trade again today, this is where most of my pain discussion was talking about. These are painful trades. These are painful. It sucks to have to keep making the trade. And it's not like you're trying to buy on the way down. There's just an understanding that this is like kind of fucked up selling. This like droopy head over here. That candle yesterday was very bullish. It opened lower, and to have to buy it again at that open was very painful. There's no doubt about it. This is a painful trade to have to make. Knowing that this candle over here sets up a bullish day today, like it doesn't absolutely mean it, but in terms of the movement, and then to have to deal with this over here, guys, we were up, down, up, down, up, down all day today. It just happens to be that we finished much fucking higher in most respects, right? That's tough. That's not easy trading. And again, this is where that overall understanding of I just need to buy shit because of this idea and understand the short-term volatility. I'm not going to be perfect, right? None of us are going to be perfect. We're going to be buying fucking up here, having to sell, buy up here. It's never going to be perfect. It's just about trying to get in and to be able to have a trade that you can manage. Because if you got this anywhere, you don't have to do anything now. Now you're set, right? Now you're actually completely set, whether you bought at a higher point or you're able to get in at open or over here, right, going into lunch. However you're able to do that, the reality is that it's going to be very hard for you to get fucked on this trade now. And maybe I shouldn't say that, but I should just say if you even get take profit tomorrow, you're going to be able to push that into next week and to find out what comes next. You're going to be able to find out what comes next. And the reality is that people don't buy like this unless there's going to be continued buying. This is just, again, this is like the selling. You don't sell a certain way unless there's an expected that it's going to be losing value, right? And that's where selling can be, things can be oversold, and you don't get that in no indicator, right? There's no indicator that's saying, oh yeah, this is oversold. No, that's not how you make trades. And so again, that type of trading is not going to work. These last few days where we've just been, we're going to buy everything and we're going to be buyers, that mentality and the understanding that it's going to be painful and we have to take that now to get the reward later, it's going to always pay more. It's just going to. And so again, that's just being confident, not losing confidence, staying disciplined and continuing to trade, and you're going to get paid for it. There's a lot of trades here again where, listen, you could have lost, I don't know, 10% of your portfolio in the last few days because you just really fucked up with your stops and everything else, and you're just trying, beating your head against a wall. You paid for it today, and you're going to pay for it if this continues, and that's what we're trying to bet on, and you never know if it's going to, but most times the market does continue, right? But anyway, the Dow tickers, again, these tickers are insane. Some of these moves are insane, guys. And again, from yesterday, and it's important to note, we were buying everything yesterday as well, and there's plenty of tickers that continued into today, and that's again important. And it's important to note that we were buying shit from the end of last week into this week, and a lot of those tickers still continued. Obviously, some of them we had to get out of. We get stopped out of just about every single growth ticker, right? They were up on Monday, and then oop. But still, these tickers, some of them, I just want you to see the trend that's in them and to realize what's going on and how it's very easy to be focused on some of your own tickers and then to forget sort of where some of the other market is, and you don't realize what you're missing. While again, hindsight capital, right? And this is where if you have a plan, it's really easy to execute it and then feel like, oh, I did it, and then to be done. But a lot of the times, this is where that pushing the winnings part is going to separate traders. It's just going to easily separate them. The other part, of course, being whether or not you can actually take the profit or not. Sure, but anyway, I would just say that this move here it looks great for tomorrow. Now let's go over to this nightmare again. There's just so much going on over here, and this is a terrible chart to look at. It's just a terrible chart to look at. It does emphasize the ability to buy it within levels, right? Buying at the lower level here on support. Not, again, this is, Brian, I was making a joke about your haiku of moving the levels and stuff. Thankfully, just about all of our charts have levels down here, and we don't have to do that, right? Here's a good example of like over here we want to buy, right, into this week, right? We want to buy up here at resistance, but our support's down here. Really, the way when we use our rules is to be patient and let price come to our level, right? And that's what we talk about. But so much of our week has been trying to preempt moves. But if we just look at it through our rules and we just follow our rules, these lines didn't just appear. This is our support down here, and you could just wait for price to come into your support, right? It didn't seem like that's what we were going to do, but that's what happened, right? And so again, a lot of buying was on support going in, for yesterday and today, and that's all we're doing. And I mean, really, all this week, that's all we're doing is we're trying to buy the support and trade it up to the next level, right? And again, whether it's growth, whether it's value, they're all the same trade. We just have some different emphasis on different tickers. And so looking at some of these tickers, let's first of all talk about some of the meme stocks. So GME, obviously we shorted into today. Do you guys hold your puts all the way through this? I mean, that's up to you. You want to lose all your money again? I think from yesterday, what I was talking about, when you're barely making a gain anyway, you had to get out of those trades. I got out of mine by like fucking 2 o'clock. So again, all of this here. So again, we take the short and then come down here, done, because there's basically no gain there. So again, no one should be getting fucked on that. This thing's going to go back and forth. Who knows what's going on over here? Again, like I said, it could go to 400, back down to 0. Who knows, right? EMC is the trade that I'm more interested. There's not much downside. We'll see how this reacts with that the meme stocks coming up. All right, we've got transportation distribution did well again today. OI is part of that. Didn't take this trade, but again, another ticker that's just breaking out of nowhere from the side of things, which is this like transportation industrial sort of distribution thing, whatever the hell it is, right? Chris, I like Chris, right? We like Chris. Some of you like Eric, some of you like Craig, but I like Chris. Chris was a nice trade here. Now, maybe I should switch it over to the other layout so that we can have the trend lines, but let me switch over real quick. Some of these trades, again, there's a lot of tickers, and again, it's not about, I'm not going to say it's like only takes one of these trades. It takes a lot of these consistent trades because you're making small trades on these. Like, it's not like you're putting much money on them, but they do certainly help. They do certainly help. So if we look through some of these, like for instance, Chris, are you taking this trade? Well, we kind of already understand the trade, and we've done this already, right? We've done this already. This is a really nice candle. Again, from open, these are really, I don't want to say it's easy trading, but it stands out, right? It stands out when you're watching intraday to take these trades. And if your mindset's to fucking buy everything, then that stands out in of itself, right? KBR we looked at from open. This is pretty, again, it's not easy, but it stands out. Does this candle itself stand out? Yes. This is a 15-minute candle right here at 10 o'clock. It stands out, does it not? Right. And so even if you're buying higher up, what is your downside when you have support here? It's just to get stopped out at support. And so again, taking these kind of trades, I'm not saying that this is a great trade to take down here, but it's the same point still of when we're looking to buy anything and we're looking really through our recent charts. Okay, then you can see it. You don't need to catch all of them, but as we look through these, you're going to see MGNX is not really a good example. Bios, not very easy. Cal, retail stores. There's going to be a lot of retail stores. Play. We've been talking about this sort of food and beverage side of things on whether it's like a retail storefront or through some of the other bullish sectors. Charts like this that come through, this has been turning on a trend line, right? This is an old trend line. When you see a move like this and you're trying to make a decision on what you can trade or not, this is again just comes down to whatever, if you're looking at it or not. If you had this up on your screen and this is the only thing and you didn't know what the ticker name was and this candle was just forming in front of you, you would probably take that 9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10, you'd probably buy that. It's just whether you're looking at it or not. Now, again, not all of us can have the time to look at every goddamn chart. And so you kind of rely on some of the ideas that we talk about here, but the same thing remains, right? Okay, travel. This is a really hard move to buy. And again, it's going to be, I talked about this all week. There's multiple clips of me saying this. Hindsight Capital is going to do their thing where Travel's like, well, duh, like I knew it was going to come back up here, so I held through the whole 20% minus 20% and bought more on the dip, and then now it's up here. Like I think I specifically talked about it with airlines, right? Now I'm bullish on this. Did I buy these? Yes. Did I buy it at the low? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I did not buy at lows. Absolutely not. Now, some of them were better than others because they had support. Some of them were just, you just take the trade because the other fucking travels are up. The only one that I had a good entry on was Expedia because this was on support at open. And I mentioned that at open. That was the only one that I actually did well on. The others, you know, I'm up, but it's not like I captured this whole trip move. I captured the trip move up over here because I already made the Expedia trade, and then I was like, Jesus Christ, we're actually doing this. And again, so the point is that you got the trade, and then you captured something, and you're in the trade for more than just that. You're not going to then say, well, this was good. I mean, this was pretty good. I got 10.5% here. That's pretty damn good. I'm happy with that. I'm done. That's the top right there. It's tomorrow's Friday. It's the weekend. I'm going to take profit at open. I'm done. No, you don't get to do that, obviously, right? So we'll see what happens tomorrow. It's still important to note how volatile travel is and how well it actually did. Even on this side. Why did this do so well? Does it matter? It's just travel doing well, and it's short term and volatile, right? I made the joke of yesterday of buying this down here. Is it really a joke to go buy this after this move here today? No, it's not. It's really not. It's the same thing. It's just a fucking news event. And we have plenty of examples where it's much more than this that we'd be willing to buy on support, right? Again, it's not easy to take these trades. And there's going to be people, again, that are going to be like, well, obviously that was going to happen. And I bought in the bottom. No, you didn't, Sherlock, Greg. Get your head out of your macaroni bowl. You don't do that. Now, there's plenty of things that we're buying at lows that looks terrible, but that's because we have an overarching idea to do so. And there's a lot of instances where this is super volatile, and so you're trying to buy lows, but you'd be doing it so often, right? This is a lot different up here. This trade is a lot different being so high up here, right? It's not like when you're taking a trade that is down here on a support, right? Where there's a whole thing of supply, right? When we're taking an Apple trade, like, are we really going out of bounds buying this down here when the high is way up here? No, we're not going out of bounds at all. Like, yeah, it's swinging back and forth, but we're not doing some weird thing where it's like we're timing some big drastic drop or something, right? We're not buying up there like that. This is just the fact that no one's going to short this here is sort of our mentality. So we're going to try to buy it. It may take a little bit of time, but we have an understanding that price is going to be up, right? So again, there's going to be some silly trades. You don't need to take all the silly trades, right? And so when you look at some of the list here, don't be FOMO'd on some of the silly trades. Okay, trades that matter. TGI. This is a great fucking trade. I'm really happy with this trade. Again, aerospace and defense. I showed the BA and GE charts. BA and GE are like, those are two big boys, right? Those are completely different charts. Now, this is the same sector, but this is a great trade, and I think it's important, again, to trust in your levels. This is really difficult because I bought this yesterday and got stopped out on it. This came up to the trend line yesterday. I'm going to show you I'll show you on the 15. Let me show you on the longer term because you can't fucking see. I got stopped out on this yesterday. This came all the way down. And then today I had to buy it at like the exact same time, right? Everyone's heading out of here. Have it going, guys. This is a great trade leading into tomorrow. Again, this is a sector that we're extremely bullish on. These charts have been great, but they actually have great levels, the way they interact here. Very happy about this trade and also the prospect of where it goes. This is a massive candle. This is a massive outside bar, and it's just a massive sort of amount of buying. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. And then again, this is not about being perfect. It is nice to get a perfect entry from the open, right? We buy only from open in most circumstances anyway. whether or not we get cucked on this tomorrow, this could just get rejected, right? We get rejected on this trend line like we've been doing, or it's going to explode through here. Again, when you look at a lot of these charts, a lot of the look and a lot of the feel is that we are going to be going because of all the fear we've had during this, like, sort of this tumultuous time of growth getting beat up. We keep violently moving to the downside. Like, this is a violent move on this chart, right? That sort of thing. What does that always turn into? It turns into the same thing on the other side of violent buying, because it's like, oh shit, we're never perfect. And I talked about it with the average. Think about the average. S&P is like 2%, 2.5% from its all-time high. What is it now? It's now 2% away from its all-time high. But a lot of the tickers you trade might be like 10% down, and it feels like you're just always getting it wrong, right? It's like, how is it this market is doing so well? Right, it's only 2% away from the all-time high, but my tickers in the sectors I choose, it's always down, and then I switch to the other one, and then that one's up. Right, that's gonna happen. It's going to happen, but you just have to be consistent and realize that, okay, there might be ways to limit that sort of missing it by like choosing the wrong ticker, even though it's a part of the same damn thing. And it's like, how is it that the average is going up, but I keep buying the damn thing that goes down? Again, that's like that sort of thing is just an overall thing for everybody, right? That's all of us. What we do is we try to limit that. So we're trying to minimize downside while obviously getting more out of the upside, squeezing as much as we can out of our winnings. Now, everyone, of course, is trying to min-max, right? Everyone's trying to reduce their losses while maximizing gains, obviously. But there's certain ways you can do that. And so, again, we follow some very strict rules. We know when to break them. I break the rules all the damn time. I don't wait for support all the time. I don't wait for resistance to break all the time. There's plenty of times I'm buying up towards resistance, right? These things will happen, but that's usually because you have a narrative. It's not a story that was created through headlines. It's, listen, I'm going to take this trade because at this moment it depends, and it's a little different here. And so, again, those of you that are like, fuck, I picked the wrong thing every single day. If today you did the same thing, then probably there's just something just fundamentally wrong with the way you're entering things, I would say. The rest of the week, absolutely. Again, I was fucking being stopped out on things every single day, right? Other than the fact that I was holding a big portfolio of value tickers, right? Holding a big portfolio from down here. That's like the only thing that I have to show for anything really since today. I mean, there's, of course, individual tickers, but they don't really amount to anything. You're talking about you make 100% on a ticker that you have 1% of your portfolio. You still only made fucking 1%. So you made 1% on your portfolio. It doesn't really mean anything. That's why like day to day doesn't matter. It's the overall. So as long as you didn't lose your whole portfolio this week, you could make a whole portfolio next week, right? That's all we're trying to do, right? Sometimes you're not going to get it. Sometimes you will. This is, again, not the time to be losing confidence, and this is not the time to be, again, the motto of this year was not to be a pussy. That's usually through just having knowledge and knowing what you're doing. It's really easy to not have that, and that's most people. So you're going to have to be more patient, right? We've been pretty aggressive this week. It's probably one of the most aggressive weeks I've been during a downturn, right? This thing to remember is that we know it's a downturn, a consolidation. Most of the time, my rhetoric is to wait for a breakout or wait all the way until support and be patient. I've been very aggressive this week. Hopefully that didn't throw too many people off. I think I've stated it enough that there's a reason why we're being that way. But it is important to realize that there are changes that you make on the fly, that when we took all these trades here, this was an on-the-fly decision to go do this. This was not like, oh, through all of here, I love the Dow. I hate the Dow. Dow was terrible. Nothing here. I was trading value through small caps. This change here is a big change. The same thing that we're doing right now with trying to get growth on a preemptive move and trying to get the whole market on a move is a very different change as well. It's important to realize that you're going to have to change up a little bit. And just as you start to learn something, you have to learn something else. That's how problem solving works. But you can take those problems that you've solved in the past and use them to solve new problems as they come in the future. And that's a very hard thing to learn, but it's the most important part of problem solving, is to take past examples and past problems and use those to basically simplify the one that's in front of you and to solve it, right? You're never gonna, no one knows. Nobody knows, right? It hasn't happened yet. So all we can do is react and try to put ourselves in a position that's not going to be, hurting us every single moment, right? You're just managing risk every day. You're never going to be able to perfectly time the market or anything else, but you can perfect your risk in a way that you're not getting hurt all the time, right? And that you're actually maximizing your upside for when it comes, right? It's not going to be easy, but I think those of you that again stuck with it, bought things today, you saw it, you felt it today, and you can see it with tickers. Again, there's a whole bunch of tickers still in here. We haven't, we don't need to look at them all. There's a whole bunch of tickers in here, and you felt it on all of these, and you see it in the list that there's a lot of big numbers in here, a lot of 10%. There's like 1,000 of my tickers that are up like at least 5%, right? Not 1,000, but like 500 of them. A lot of these are great looking moves. The retail stores coming back here on this low. Again, is this going to translate into a constant straight line trend to the upside? I don't know. That would be nice for any of entries that we got down here for sure. But you don't know that that's the case. All we can do is react. And if that is the case, we're positioned for it. If it's going to happen on the downside, we're in a position where we're not going to get hurt if it takes profit tomorrow or takes profit into Monday, or if the market decides to continue to sell down. We're not going to get hurt by those things, but we're going to try to take advantage of everything it gives us, right? That's all we can do. And again, those of you that we've been making a lot of memes in chat, and I even say a lot of memes in terms of my talking of like stocks are too risky, we should avoid them at all costs and buy bonds and shit. Guys, that's fucking satire. Chill the fuck out, honestly. Jesus. Like, we're just having fun and having a good time. Like, if you're having such a horrible time, then you shouldn't be here, right? If you're having such a horrible time at it, and this is not helpful for you, and you need me to tell you that you're doing great, little pajama trader, and your ideas are so good, like you're so wonderful, like you're a great adult 40-year-old man, you're beautiful, like you're not gonna get that here. And I don't criticize anyone on a personal level, but I will criticize every idea that goes into the chat every single time, unless it's a fucking joke. If it's a joke and it doesn't hurt anybody, then I'm not gonna criticize it. But if there's ideas and general ideas of, hey, do you like it could just be a ticker, and then I'm going to say if I think it's bearish or bullish. How many times have you guys asked me about something and I go, that's dog shit, that's a bearish move? Because that's not attacking you. That's just talking about the actual play or the ticker itself, in my opinion. You know how many times I've worked in an institution before? You know how many times that's the conversation? Do you think we all get butthurt about each other going, oh, you don't like my idea? Boss man, you don't like my idea? Like, come on now. It's a fucking, this is how it works, right? That's how it works. And that's how we get better. And that's the whole point of what we do here, is that we bring up ideas. I have a lot more experience. I've traded a lot more. I trade more money. I make money. That doesn't take away from anyone's ideas here, because we're literally doing the same fucking thing. We're quite literally doing the same thing. And so it doesn't make a difference. So again, I don't criticize anyone personally here. I will absolutely criticize ideas because that's what I get paid to do. That's literally my job. So if it's anyone's job here to do that as well, then announce yourself, and then I will accept your things over mine. But again, this is literally what I do. I don't walk into your law office and go, listen, you should tell the judge to go fuck himself because that's just bullshit. Objection. Like, I don't go into the doctor's office and go, listen, doctor, you suck at surgery. I'm going to do the surgery. I watched a YouTube video. I only have 10 minutes a day to do this, but again, be respectful to each other. No one here is being disrespectful. And memes, read between the lines. A lot of the times it's a fucking joke. So again, don't take everything you see immediately seriously. Maybe read it and think about it. Stop and think for a moment if what the person is saying is actually true or not. So for instance, if Brian says something that's we all know is a joke, but you think it's serious and that someone's hurting you, or I'm saying something that hurts you, it's probably not, because that's not what we do here. So again. We're making, I know it's when we're losing money that everyone gets on edge. As soon as everyone makes money, it's like, oh, go fuck yourself, you loser. Like, and then everyone's having a good time and no one cares, right? Let's be respectful. Everyone can enjoy their own pleasures around here, right? We're progressive. We're not degressing over here. If you are, get the fuck out of chat, all right? Anyway, I'm really excited for tomorrow, guys. Today, look at this shit. Look at these tickers over here, guys. Look at these. 5%, 6%. These are all fives. All fives. These are a lot of green, guys. And, I mean, you can see it in the average, but in terms of our tickers, what we watch, it felt very good to be able to buy a lot, right? It felt very good to buy a lot. So tomorrow, it's going to be interesting because, again, it doesn't take much. It actually doesn't take much, and this was so funny about what we do, is that it doesn't take much of a move, right? Something can move 10%, and that might be 100-something% for us. That's a lot of money, right? And if that's on 10 different trades, that's a lot of money, right? You don't even need the market to go all the way back up. That's what we're looking for tomorrow. I'm excited for it. Again, if it's down, if it's up, guys, it doesn't matter, okay? It could be down tomorrow. Is that going to change what we're doing? No. We're going to be consistent. We'll go to the weekend, enjoy our weekend, and then come back Monday, right? So enjoy your night, your evening, your morning, wherever you are. I will see you in the morning. Look out for the charts tonight. And until next time.